Today is Wednesday, July 27th. It is National Scotch Day, given the conventions, none too soon. Let's look at Apple. Big news yesterday. Some good earnings. iPhone's doing well. Let's take a look at the charts, though, see what the market has to say about all of that. Pretty easy to put some lines on this thing. We have the 200-day average here in this teal color. In red is the 50-day average. And the trend line from last summer, so about a year trend line. You could see that the little jump up this morning, the gap up based on the earnings, and I shouldn't say little, it was about 6% or so, it just hit the 200-day average, hit the trend line, did not break through, and really nothing special about it other than it was a gap. Now you can argue that here is a resistance level and a jump through that, and that of course is a positive. It did bounce off the 50-day average yesterday. Again, another positive, but those are shorter term things. The longer term issues of the 200-day average and the 1-year trend line are still holding as resistance. Take a look down below at the studies on balance volume. Trend is still to the downside for the last year. Below that is price relative or relative strength or relative performance. Again, the same thing. The trend is down for about the last year, and even the jump today didn't take it back to challenge that trend line. Just for some perspective, let's take a look at the weekly chart. Okay, just cleaned up a few of those indicators since they're more in the dailies. And ignore the averages. Again, their parameters are for daily, not weekly averages. But you can see the trend line from last year, about a year ago. Let's put in a horizontal line here. And what I did was put the line at the 2012 peak, which is obviously a pretty major high, and now acting as support. And you can see it wasn't perfect, but it did act as support this year on 3 occasions. So some good news there is that the major trend in Apple still to the upside, major support held. The bad news is that this did not break the stock out of its 1-year decline, so it is still within the pattern, and you still have to give the bears some credit here for holding the advance back. Now, of course, if it does break through with any kind of volume in the next week or so, then we have to change our tune. But for now, no real technical change in Apple based on the earnings.